Thanks, Dave. Let's break down Arizona basketball. Joined in studio once again by Corey Williams, U of A basketball class of 1996. And Corey, what a performance in the last game by Gabe York. And I've said that, to me, I think he's the whole key to this run, because you know what you're going to get out of guys like Stanley Johnson and T.J. McConnell and the rest of the starters. But for a team to really go deep into the postseason, you need those guys off the bench. And Gabe York gives you that extra spark. How important do you believe is Gabe in this whole equation?
He's tremendously important. Arizona's loaded with guys who attack the rim. They go coast to coast, put the ball on the deck. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, Stanley Johnson. Caleb requires a double team. Ashley gets a lot of attention. You need a guy who can release the pressure, knock down threes. When he's making threes, Arizona is almost impossible to beat because they put so much pressure on you with penetration. You got to leave somebody, and Gabe York's there with the knockdown.
We talked about Brandon Ashley last week and how he was just being left open. I was shocked at Ohio State. It seemed like they were 10, 12 feet away from Gabe York on the perimeter. How do you leave a guy like that so open that you know's a three-point threat?
Well, it's first things first. Arizona uses a ball screen, so you have to respect T.J. McConnell. You have to respect Stanley Johnson off that ball screen. So it puts your four-man in an awkward position. I got to help up my guard, but wait a minute, my guy can shoot. And that's the beauty of the Arizona offense. When you've got a step-back shooter like Brandon Ashley, when you've got knockdown shooters like Gabe York and Pitts coming in the game, you can't help too much defensively, and that's why McConnell wreaks havoc on defenses.
And what I love about Arizona is the fact it could be anybody. It could be Gabe York and T.J. McConnell, like we saw against Ohio State. It could be Stanley Johnson and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, as we saw against Texas Southern. They're that deep.
Well, you know, I really get irritated when coaches talk about how deep they are. Just because you play 8 guys doesn't mean you're deep. Can you play 8 guys that can produce? When Arizona comes off the bench with players 6, 7, and 8, they're impact players. That's the sign of a team that can make a deep run.
All right, and defensively going into this next round, you cannot give up layups like they gave up in the first 2 games.
Not at all. Sometimes you're worried about that first foul. Coaches always teach their guys, protect that first foul. But you can't give up layups. You got to have some defensive pressure. You got to contain guys, keep them in front of you. Arizona's got great wingspan, great athleticism defensively, but you got to stop the layups. No easy baskets this late in the season.
All right, Corey, appreciate it once again. He's Corey Williams, U of A basketball class of 1996. Dave, I'll send it back over to you.